Good day, gentlemen. Captain Singh once again back with the new topic related to shipboard operation. And today's topic is entry into enclosed space. Why I am picking up this topic today is a great concern. We are getting information every now and then that some of our fellow crew members are dying because of the entry into enclosed space. And this is very scary. A group of P&I club had conducted a survey and they have come up with the figure that due to entry into enclosed space, 83 crew members have died between 2015 to 2020. If you count the figure, if you compare with the month, then 83 deaths in 16 months. That means almost more than one crew member are dying every month because of the enclosed space. So we need to deal this entry procedure into enclosed space very seriously with following all the procedure. Enclosed space means a space which has limited opening for entry and exit, inadequate ventilation, and not designed for continuous worker occupancy. The examples are cargo spaces, double bottoms, fuel tanks, ballast tanks, cargo pump rooms, cargo compressor rooms, cofferdams, chain lockers, void spaces, ductiles, boilers, engine crankcases, engine scavenge, sewage tanks, or any other spaces as per the construction of the ship. Once you will come to know that entry into enclosed space has to be made, the first thing which should come into your mind is hazards. Hazards like lack of oxygen, presence of hydrocarbon gases, presence of toxic gases, slippery surface, no nights, and any other hazard which depends on the nature of the enclosed space where we are going to enter. Once you identify the hazards, then we will take control measures to minimize the hazards. This is easily done by carrying out the risk assessment. A risk assessment is a procedure every company follows and as per their safety management system. On board ship, you can ask a master or chief officer to prepare a detailed risk assessment on the entry into the enclosed space. On the screen, there is one example. Once the risk assessment is done, you will start preparation for the enclosed space entry. And the first point will be isolating the tank from the adjacent compartment, isolating the tank from any pipeline which is connected to the tank. This is easily done by separating piping from a confined space. That includes the blinding and double block of the pipeline from the tank. Once you close all the valves or blank the valves of the enclosed space where you are going to incur, then you can easily place a sign, do not operate. This way you are notifying the other person that this valve has been shut down for some purpose. Once the isolation is done, the next step is ventilation. Normally, the ventilation should start 24 hours before entry into the enclosed space. This way, the atmosphere inside the enclosed space will be completely changed and the oxygen, hydrocarbon and toxic gases reading will be good enough for anyone to enter into the enclosed space. Remember that when you are checking the gases of the enclosed space, then you should stop the ventilation before checking the gases. If any manhole of the enclosed space is open, then you should put the fencing over there so that the other crew who do not know anything about the enclosed space entry should not fall inside the tank. You should also check the walkie-talkie which you are going to use in the enclosed space communication. Put the battery on the charging mode so that when you need the battery, your battery should be fully charged so that there should not be any break of communication when the enclosed space entry is going on. You should check the gas meter which we are going to use to check the atmosphere of the enclosed space. The gas meter must have a shore calibration certificate on board. All gas meters should be calibrated every year by shore personnel, and the certificate must be on board all the time. Check the certificate, and also before checking the atmosphere of the tank, you should calibrate the gas meter using the span gas which is available on board ship. Once all preparation is done, then the next very important things come into picture is entry permit. No one will enter into the enclosed space without valid enclosed space entry permit. This permit is issued by the master or responsible person. The validity of the certificate is 8 hours. Suppose if the enclosed space entry continue to more than 8 hours, then another enclosed space entry permit has to be issued. This checklist having 5 sections. Section 1, pre-entry preparation. Preparation to be done as per this checklist. You must understand this in this checklist, these 3 parameters: oxygen, hydrocarbon and toxic gases. It's clearly written that oxygen by volume 21%, hydrocarbon less than 1% and toxic gases 0. So if the oxygen reading will be below 21%, 20.9%, hydrocarbon more than 1% or toxic gases more than 0, then this permit ceases to exist and enclosed space entry permit has to be stopped, and person who is working inside enclosed space has to be called up immediately. This section 1 pre-entry operation talk about this. Section 2 pre-entry checks. Before entry into the enclosed space, we have to check all the points of this permit. Section 3 talk about breathing apparatus and other equipment which has to be kept standby near the entrance of the enclosed space, so that in case of emergency you can use the equipment. Make sure all the equipment is kept near the entry of the enclosed space as per this list. Section 4 talk about the person who are going to enter into the enclosed space, and section 5 talk about once the enclosed space job is done, you have to shut down the space, close the manholes, inform the duty officer and inform the master. So this way this permit has been divided into 5 sections. We have to duly complete the enclosed space entry permit. Once the permit is issued, then one copy of the permit should be posted near the enclosed space entry, so that anyone who is going inside the enclosed space should be aware about the permit has been issued and the validity of the permit. Once the enclosed space entry permit has been issued, another person will get ready for entering into the enclosed space. At that time, the gases into the enclosed space has been checked by the gas meter. This check should be done at the 3 different levels: bottom level, top level and middle level. When we are going to check the gases in the enclosed space, the ventilation should be stopped 10 minutes prior checking the gases. One person should be standby at the entrance of the enclosed space with a walkie-talkie, so that he can communicate with the person who is going inside the enclosed space at regular interval as prescribed in the permit. The person who is going inside will carry a torch, carry a portable gas meter, so that the reading of the gases will be monitored continuously inside the tank. He will also have a lifeline. He will carry a EEBD, emergency escape breathing device. Before entering into the enclosed space, the person who is standby at the entrance of the enclosed space will inform the duty officer regarding the time, the name of the person who is entering, and the presence of the gases, oxygen, hydrocarbon, toxic gases inside the enclosed space. If all is done, then the person will enter into the enclosed space. He will keep on communicating with the person standby at the entrance, and if all goes well, the job is done, the person will come out from the enclosed space. The standby person will send communicate to the duty officer regarding the coming out timing. This way the enclosed space entry will be done. Once the job is completed, the area will be secured, the enclosed space will be shut down and blanked, and same will be informed to the bridge and master. Please also understand that at the entrance of the enclosed space, equipment has to be kept standby to use in case of emergency. 2 sets of BS8, fully charged BS8, a stretcher, and first aid kits. At any given time, the person who is standby at the entrance of the enclosed space is not able to communicate with the person who has gone inside the enclosed space by means of the walkie-talkie or by lifeline. Then without delay he should inform duty officer, and duty officer should raise the emergency alarm. At no case, no one should go inside the enclosed space without permission from master. Master will deal this as an emergency, and he will start preparation for the rescue from enclosed space. To get familiarized with the rescue operation from the enclosed space, the ship normally carry out the drill at the regular interval for the rescue from enclosed space. All the crew should participate in the drill to know about how a person can be rescued from the enclosed space. You must also understand that the enclosed space entry permit cease to exist if during the operation any emergency arises on board ship, or during the time ventilation is stopped, or reading of the gas meter changes, or instruction by the master. In these cases, the permit ceases to exist and the person who is inside the enclosed space should come out as soon as possible. On screen, these are the list of the equipment which is normally being used when the entry into enclosed space carried out. You can also refer IMO resolution A105027, which was adopted on 30 November 2011, which gives a recommendation for entering enclosed space on board ship. If you feel this video is helpful to you, then please like it and also subscribe it so that you will get notification when I will post next YouTube video related to shipboard operation. Till the time, be safe, be healthy, bon voyage, and come back safely. Thank you.